Welcome to episode 11, the magic number 11, 11, 11, Make a Wish of Transition Takes, the show that won $10 in an eating challenge. Thank you for tuning in. If you end up enjoying the show, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's episode, DUBBY, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. You can use code XMASON at checkout for 10% off of your order. Devin, how's the life of a quitter?
Really? Really? Life's great.
Good, man.
Life's great.
Anything special going on?
No, nothing special. Same old, same old.
Great to hear. We have a loaded show today. We're touching all the sports that people care about. No, soccer is not included, nor is golf. We're going to be touching some NBA, NFL, even baseball for the first time ever. So you better tune in, baby. And later on, Alex will join us for some UFC. Let's get into some sports. We're going to start off with NBA free agency. Started off with a bang. Sixers signed Paul George to a massive 4-year, $212 million deal. Are the Sixers now the best team in the East?
No. The Celtics are still in the East.
But it's so hard to repeat, man.
Yeah, but you didn't ask who's going to win. You asked who's the best team.
That's fair. And all right. Are the Sixers now the most likely to dethrone the Celtics?
No.
Fair.
Their two best players have knee problems. And I still would take the Knicks now over the Sixers.
Did you see those memes where it's like, what's stopping this team?
The knees,
and it's like the knees.
Yeah.
I saw one where it had like bright lights in the background, and all of the bright lights were circled.
Yeah, that too.
I have to stay consistent. So I have to stay consistent by being inconsistent. Now, hear me out. I said if they signed Paul George, they would be my pick. So I can't stick with that and say what I'm about to say. I've consistently said that if you pick teams that are injury prone, that's your own fault. The whole asterisk of if they're healthy. Mm-hmm. Certain teams you can't say that with because you just know they're not going to be healthy. And as much as I'd love to see the Sixers go on a deep run, Joel Embiid can't stay healthy, Paul George can't stay healthy, and now their depth won't be as good. Luckily they kept Oubre, but what's Oubre going to do if one of them goes out, right?
They got Drummond.
Yeah, that's true. Their backup big was a huge need. What was their other? Paul Reed, I think.
He's still there.
He was really bad. Their entire team went to die against the Knicks when Embiid went out.
Yeah. So
I would say no. I hope I end up being wrong. I hope the Sixers can do something. I'm a huge fan of Paul George and Maxey, and I like Embiid, but
yeah.
The likelihood they stay healthy is pretty much slim to none. It's like the Jets or the Clippers previously.
Yeah, so much talent, so good, just can't stay healthy.
You know what I did? I'm an actual idiot. So I have the whole rundown for the show here, and I have lead-ups to each question, and I have the question. I didn't answer a single one. So
you're going to do what I do every week.
Yeah, I'm just going to be spitballing. So I'm going to say no, they're not the best team in the East. I do think they'll go further than Boston.
Because Boston's going to meet Miami.
Yep, okay.
Let's go.
Miami's not good. All right, moving on. With the promise of taking over L.A. and ending the experiment with more first-round exit than Western Conference final appearances, are the Clippers the most disappointing team of this era? Yes, they are. From the second they were formed, it was promised to be a dynasty. Kawhi's the best player in the league. They have billboards of he's the new king, all this nonsense, and every single year they underperformed expectations. Every single one. Because even they blew the 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. When they went to the Western Conference Finals, they were hurt, so they just got dismantled immediately. This previous year, they lose in 6 to the Mavs as the favorite. The Clippers were the favorite in that series.
While being what again? Injured.
And they were injured. They were just constantly injured.
Yep.
And, I mean, Kawhi had injury problems before the Clippers. Not nearly as bad as this. Neither did Paul George. Maybe they need to look at, like, their training staff or something. Because both of their injury problems got worse when they got there.
I think they also get rushed back too much.
That's probably true.
Clippers.
And now Russ is going to leave, so this team is going to be James Harden, who in the playoffs is as good as I am, and Kawhi Leonard, who will play 2 games in the playoffs and then miss the rest. So the Clippers are done. Their new stadium is going to be empty, and their logo is atrocious. So moving on to a team that matters. After facilitating a sign and trade for Klay Thompson, giving him 3 years, $50 million, and sending Josh Green to the Hornets, 2 second-round picks to the Warriors, where do you now put the Mavs on the list of Western Conference contenders?
So I made kind of like a tier for this. I have them in the A tier. The S tier is Thunder, Timberwolves. And then the A tier, I have them, Nuggets, Pelicans, Lakers, Grizzlies.
Didn't the Mavs just beat the Wolves in 5, and the Mavs are now better? How could the Wolves be in the tier above them?
They just get, after seeing the finals, there's a clear way to stop the Mavericks. And then the Timberwolves did add a point guard, more scoring, which they needed bad. Mm-hmm. And I think they have young players that will get better. I think the Mavericks, we see all of their peaks. Anthony Edwards can still get better.
Luka can still get better. He
can still get better, but I think we're at around Luka's peak.
Possibly.
He's been the same player probably about the last 2 years now.
My biggest fear for Luka is the fact that he's playing in the Olympics.
And he's already, groaning.
Right. Yeah. He was hurt in the finals. Now he's still playing. And then the short turnaround to the next season.
Which I wonder, is Embiid's playing in the Olympics?
There's rumors that he's going to, which if I'm the Sixers, I'm going to, knock him out and, lock him in a basement to make sure he doesn't go and play. Because that's a bad idea. That man needs less basketball, not more. Yeah. I think the Mavs are definitely a top-tier contender. I would say them, the Thunder, and the T-Wolves would be in my S tier. And then besides that point, I kind of agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
But I think those 3 should be at the top. And the Nuggets are
Only reason I don't have the Nuggets there is because they just lost KCP.
They just lost KCP. They're in between S and A.
That's just their shooting. That's so much shooting gone. Without KCP, there's not really a knockdown shooter there other than MPJ and Jamal Murray.
Realistically, they should try and trade MPJ for 3 role players is probably what they should do. They have absolutely no depth. Yeah. And at least against the Mavs, MPJ just or not the Mavs, sorry, the Wolves, he just completely disappeared for the entire series.
They got some stuff to figure out, and I love to see it.
Yeah, and their big 4 really making so much money is why they keep losing all of their rotational pieces. Aaron Gordon too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
And that's the thing, man. If I'm a Nuggets fan, I'm pissed off. You see the Celtics have the highest payroll in NBA history because they know that this is their time. This is the Nuggets' time.
They lost Bruce Brown last offseason. Could have brought him back.
And they lost Jeff Green. Not as big of a loss, but they lost him.
I did hear, though, the KCP thing. The Nuggets offered him around the same salary. He just left.
Just he didn't want to be in Denver anymore.
I don't blame him. Screw Denver.
Why do you hate Denver?
Because Jokic is there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get it. But, again, if I'm the Nuggets fans, I'd be pissed off. We have arguably the best player in the league. You can't keep losing pieces. Yeah. This is the time to be adding. Just like the Thunder did, the Mavs did, the Wolves did. They're all adding talent. The
Thunder are so scary.
The Thunder are probably going to be very, very good. You're still just scared about their youth. That's really their only question mark. They have everything else.
Now they have the second round. They just beat the Western Conference, or not beat. They played the Western Conference champions. They got that experience.
And they contested them better than the Wolves did.
They could have beat them if P.J. Washington didn't have a crazy stretch of games.
Yeah. To be fair, Kyrie had a bad stretch. So, if Kyrie has a good one and PJ has a normal one, it's, the same result.
Yeah, but did Kyrie play bad against the Thunder?
Yeah, he averaged, 14 a game.
Well, maybe that's not really a Kyrie thing because he did bad in the finals, too.
Yeah.
Maybe the teams just figured out a way to contain him.
Yeah, Kyrie had a weird playoffs. And I think it kind of got reported or talked about because he was so insane off the court for so long. Now that he's chilled out.
They don't want to start it.
Yeah, everyone just kind of cutting him a little bit more slack. Anyway, we're going to move on back to the Eastern Conference. The Knicks trade not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 or 5, but 6 first-round picks for Mikal freaking Bridges. Luckily, they gave up no players.
No players. They gave it Boyan.
Yeah, he's bad aim.
No.
He's bad aim.
He's a vet that can score.
Yeah, he's bad aim.
But he's not Mikal.
They didn't give up anyone that mattered.
Yeah.
So, it's Really, I think it equates more to like 4 first-round picks since they didn't give up anybody else. Like when Rudy got traded, it was 4, but they also gave players.
Actually, like 5 first and then a swap.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's essentially that's 6 because I get
depending
the best.
On the
I get
swap,
whichever one
though,
I want.
Yeah, depending on the swap though, it could be like a 12 and 15.
Yeah. So anyway, are the Knicks now a top-tier contender?
In the East, yeah, I probably have them 2 right now.
My problem with the Knicks is if they have any chance of beating Boston, right? They are just a slightly worse version of Boston.
Yeah.
Like Mikal is slightly worse than Jaylen Brown. Like Jaylen is not, well, to most people, Jaylen is not as good as Tatum. So like the superstar, the second star, each one, Boston is slightly better. Derek White and Drew combined, I would say, are more valuable than OG Anunoby is. Mm-hmm. And then Porzingis is obviously better than Mitchell Robinson. Yeah. Although Porzingis being out until Christmas is what's being reported is pretty crazy for them.
I hope that they suck.
I usually don't root for like the juggernaut. The only juggernaut I ever rooted for was Golden State, and that's just because they were so fun to watch.
I guess the only juggernaut I rooted for was for the Heatles, but that was my team.
The Warriors' big 3 with KD, Steph, and Clay was just so fun to watch.
No, it wasn't.
The ball movement, it was just beautiful basketball.
Dude, I was always watching them 3-1, Alex.
It was just beautiful basketball. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. I think the Knicks are not a top-tier contender because they have Tibbs as their coach, and he will run them all into the ground, and by midway through the second round, they'll have no chance at a championship because 2 guys will be hurt, another guy will be dinged. Mikal Bridges is about to average 56 minutes a game, and it's a 48-minute game.
Yeah.
Like,
he's going to play during halftime.
He 100% is. So that's I have pretty much no faith in the Knicks because I'd have no faith in Tibbs to actually be a championship coach.
I think the Knicks should hope for Boston in the first round.
Probably.
Because if they can get Boston out in the first round, they probably have the Pacers, the Heat, or the one of the other middle ground teams, Magic, something like that in the second round, that they can maybe get out of there in 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And it's kind of try and stay healthy.
It's the same argument people made for the Lakers should root to play Denver earlier because you have more time off in between games in the first round. You're more well-rested. You haven't gone through the other rounds of the playoffs. Yeah. It's the same argument along those lines, but it shouldn't have to be because the Knicks are not an old team like the Lakers are. Their coach is just insane. Yeah. This Tibbs beef is going to go on for a long time.
Hopefully, though, with getting Mikal, they give like the Josh Harts and the Anunobys more rest. Yeah. Because apparently Mikal is just never going to miss a game.
Yeah, I guess not. He hasn't missed a game since high school. Mm-hmm. That's insane. And he doesn't even get bye weeks. Like, we get bye weeks every other week. It's bullshit. All right. Everybody, solemn moment here for this next question. Shout out to our producer, Alex, who's been a Warriors fan since the dynasty started. #bandwagon.
Since the dynasty started.
Well, the Warriors era is clearly over. Clay's gone. Dre's probably already suspended. And Curry is a lone star at the tail end of his prime. Should Steph Curry request a trade?
To Miami.
So all of his answers are just going to be whatever best for Miami should happen. Yeah.
It's valid. If you had a team, like if your team wasn't a bunch of... Actually, I feel your Cowboys pain. I'm a Heat fan. They were doing absolutely nothing. Yep.
We're going to get into Dallas later, I'll tell you that much. We are going to talk about Dallas for sure. Good. So, yes, Steph Curry should request a trade. He's one of the 10 best players of all time.
Do you think he will?
No, I don't think he will,
either.
But he should. He's one, and just like LeBron shouldn't have re-signed. These 2 stars that carried the league for a decade deserve better than what their franchises are currently giving them. For the owner of the Warriors to actively come out and say, my number one goal is to get underneath the tax is just ridiculous, man. Like, even if it is your goal, don't say it, right?
Yeah, just show it.
The way they treated Clay is just unbelievable. Like, there was reports that they didn't even make him an offer. Like, it was like, yeah, dude, we just don't want you. Which is insane for a guy who helped bring you 4 rings. Like, and obviously it wasn't the only aspect, but they had the 3 rings. Clay was hurt for 2 years. They were god-awful. And then he comes back and they win their fourth immediately. Which obviously was not directly correspondent. But he deserved better than that. So to see how they treated Clay on the way out, that should raise Curry's eyebrow. And just overall, man, now your second best player is Draymond, who's gonna get suspended at least twice a year.
Kuminga's their second best player.
Yeah, Kuminga's still more of an idea than a good player.
I mean,
he's a good.
Last season in his minutes, he was getting 20 every night.
Yeah. I feel bad for Steph. Steph's one of my favorite players ever, and he deserves better. And so does LeBron, which leads us perfectly into our next question. Rest in peace, Warriors. Rest in peace, Alex. The Lakers once again missed out on their guy in free agency. This time around, it was Klay Thompson, who, as we previously discussed, took a 3-year, $50 million deal with the Mavs. Devin, who's the most to blame for the Lakers' free agency embarrassment? I mean, woes. Sorry, my bad.
D'Angelo Russell.
But who gave him that contract?
Rob Pelinka.
Right. Rob Pelinka's awful at his job is the main problem.
Yeah.
Why do we have 3 different players playing for the league minimum who have player options?
Who?
I don't remember I know one is Jackson Hayes. That's the only one I know. But they had their plan. Okay. The reason they didn't do anything during the trade deadline was we have these picks and these players are going to leave, so we'll have cap space. We'll be able to reform the team.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, player options take the control out of your hands and put it into the players' hands. D'Lo takes his player option and the 3 league minimum guys, and now you don't have a pot to piss in, and you're standing there like, yeah, we'd love to sign you, Clay, but you know what? I got nothing for you. And that's exactly what he had, was nothing for him. Apparently, Rob Pelinka never even got a phone call with Clay. Like, their number one target, he never even got Clay on the phone. He talked to Clay's agent.
Yeah.
But while talking to Clay's agent, Clay is at dinner with the GM and coach of the Mavs. It's like, how do you expect to win this battle when you're not even in the game?
I think Pelinka he goes too much through just the agents and think that's all it is. You have to get somewhat with the player. I mean, Clay's dad wanted him to go to LA. You've got to pressure that part of it and hope he'll come. And I thought the Heat organization was bad. The Lakers might be worse.
The Lakers are awful.
The Lakers are ran horribly.
They're probably the worst ran relevant team. Yes, Alex?
I'd like to add, I heard reports of Klay Thompson that a part of his decision was the income tax in Texas.
Oh, yeah, he would have lost a lot of money.
I heard that, but here's the thing.
I don't know how true it is, but...
No, I heard that. First and foremost, the way it works is whatever city you play in, that game check is taxed by that city. So for 41 games, he gets Texas's state taxes, and for 41 games, he gets a litany of everywhere else, right? But that's been true for all of NBA history. Like, Texas did not just change their tax code this year. That's always been true. And the Mavericks have consistently missed out on big-name free agents, while the Lakers have consistently gotten them, even though California has some of the highest taxes. So, unless Clay is just a complete oddball, like, that is just not what NBA history tells us. What this tells us is Rob Pelinka doesn't know what he's doing, because for all of NBA history, the Lakers have always gotten their guy. They got Wilt, Shaq, and a litany of other people. LeBron. Like, all these guys. But now all of a sudden that Rob Pelinka has his hand on the controller, they can't do anything. They can't get anything done. And the one big move they made was because AD was a clutch client, and LeBron wanted him there, and AD wanted to play with LeBron.
I could have made that trade.
Right, it had nothing to do with Rob Pelinka. And in that trade, the Lakers gave up every possible asset that they had.
How do you give it and picks, right?
Right.
Like, how do you? They have next year's pick to still give up in that trade.
So it's not as if Rob Pelinka did that deal and negotiated well. Like, he gave away everything he could. It was a deal that was on a silver spoon, and the Pelicans took the entire bite on that silver spoon.
Only thing he didn't give up was Kuzma, but guess who he gave that up for? Russell Westbrook.
Right, and I think the organization is gun shy after doing that trade. But you can't just sit on your hands while LeBron is still excellent at his age. He's not going to be like that forever.
He might be.
For forever?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the under on that, but I guess we're going to find out. So, point is, and Brandon, you're going to clip this segment because your team's a joke. The Lakers are a joke, and that's that. That's our free agency recap for today. We are going to move on to UFC 303, and our producer Alex is going to join us, and we'll wait for him to get on camera to kind of continue this, but...
Coming over here.
Come over your side.
Well, you're just going to squat?
Yeah, I'll just squat. Gotta get the quads involved, you know what I'm saying?
The quads.
Gotta get ready
Yeah,
for UFC 304.
I am.
Okay. So what's up with 304? Any fights announced?
304 is actually going to be a really stacked card.
There we
Got main event, Leon Edwards taking on Bilal Muhammad for the welterweight belt.
Leon hasn't fought in a long time, I feel like.
It's been a while. I think it's... I have no idea when the last time he fought is, but it's been a while.
I heard they're trying to reschedule the Conor fight, like, immediately.
Yeah, but in the post-fight presser, Dana was saying that he has no updates on Conor, which is not
at this
very
point,
good.
man, I've been the biggest Conor guy. At this point, dude, it's getting a little corny.
Yeah.
It's like either fight or just tell everyone that you're retired.
Yeah.
It's getting
At
a
least you
little
didn't have
corny.
to put $50 down,
That's true.
because you would have lost.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
No, I would not.
You would have lost.
I would not. When that fight happens, he's still going to win.
I'm confident you were going to lose.
The fight is going to happen eventually, and I'll win that money. All right. After remaking the card on the fly for UFC 303, the show eventually went down, and now Alex is going to fill those of us who didn't watch in on what happened. So, Alex, what happened?
So I'm not going to lie. Dana pulled yet again another trick out of his hat and kind of revived this card.
Dana does.
I'm not
Didn't
gonna-
they have to reschedule a fight like the day of?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
My bad.
So I'm not gonna lie,
Come
the
on.
first 3 fights were pretty big snooze fests,
Were they hug fests?
hug fests.
I'm already
Well,
asleep.
one of them. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I did not watch one of the fights because it was a women's fight.
God damn it.
I'm not very fond on women's fight. I don't know, man. No disrespect, but like
Hi, TikTok.
no disrespect at all. It's not my thing.
It's not your fight.
It's not my thing.
Women aren't your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. But anyway, so the first 3 fights were pretty big snoozers. MVP versus Ian Gary. I thought that was gonna be like potential fight of the night.
Did Ian win?
Ian did win, and Hugfest.
Yeah.
He shit the bed, honestly.
Ian did?
Ian did. He did what he had to do to win, but I think it was pussy. I think it was pussy.
We don't get enough MVP. MVP's so old, we can't have Hugfest with him.
Yeah, no.
What is that? Is MVP a scrapper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are known like good strikers. Like not even good, great strikers. But Ian Gary has been training in Brazil with Charles Oliveira and
No.
That was his
all
first
those
mistake.
teams. Yeah. And he
But Oliveira's not boring about it. Was Ian
No.
boring about it?
Ian was boring about it.
Gross.
He was. It was so bad. He was god awful at showing his like rookie jiu-jitsu. He had a few submissions locked in really tight and could not manage to fucking finish the fight.
Is that because MVP is a tank or because he
No,
has...
MVP is not experienced in the ground game. Like he should have easily been able to finish him, but Ian Gary's lack of knowledge in jiu-jitsu was just hard to watch.
I'm completely untrained, but I'm a submission specialist. Alex knows that.
That's facts.
And I'm a knockout specialist, too.
That is also facts. But anyways, yeah, the first 3 fights, I'm honestly not gonna lie, they were big snoozers. Co-main event, this is the one that got rescheduled the day of. Brian Ortega weighed in at 155 pounds. It was gonna be a lightweight bout, even though both fighters are featherweight. Because I guess on Friday when they were trying to make weight, Brian Ortega could no longer cut weight. Like he was stuck at 155 pounds, and
What did he need to get to?
He needed to get down another 10
Is he
pounds.
normally a
Another
featherweight?
10?
Another
Oh
10
my
pounds.
god.
Is he
okay.
normally a featherweight?
Yeah, he's ranked number 3 in the featherweight division.
He just couldn't get down
He just
there?
could not get down
That's
for some
weird.
reason.
So he couldn't get
And-
down to his normal division's weight.
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
which was pretty odd. But
Yeah, they weigh in at 155. The fight was going to go on at 155, and then literally the day of the fight.
Wait, so both fighters were overweight?
Both fighters weighed in at 155. They both agreed on it. Because Diego Lopez could have easily said, no, I'm not going to fight him at that weight, but he wanted the show to go on, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
UFC fighters seem to be pretty good about that. I don't think I've ever heard a story of, like, the guy saying, no, dude, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, they're about it.
You'll typically see that with, like, lower card fighters. Like,
I genuinely thought he was going to say women.
No.
I thought you usually see that with women.
But you'll typically see that with lower card fighters because they don't want to ruin their opportunity and like lose when the opponent has a clear advantage on them.
But when you're already established, they're more willing to do it. I got you.
But back to the weigh-in. They both weighed in. Fight was on. And then the day of the fight, Brian Ortega, the one that weighed in, that couldn't cut down to featherweight, ended up pulling out of the fight because he was really sick.
Do you think he just didn't want the fight?
I'm not
like,
sure.
Like, oh, I can't cut weight. Oh, I'm really sick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Something felt really off about him. He didn't seem like he wanted to be there that fight week. But
conspiracy theories.
Anyways, what was I gonna say here? So yeah, the fight got called off the day of, and Diego Lopez still wanted to fight. And
they called in Volk.
That would have been sick.
Hunter Campbell and Dana White made some phone calls, and they called up Dan 50K Ige. Dan Ige was apparently chilling at his house, getting a massage, ready to watch the fights. And then out of nowhere, he gets a call from Hunter, and he's like, all right, I'm down to fight. I'm in Vegas.
Who won?
Diego Lopez won.
Was it bad?
It wasn't bad, actually. Diego Lopez won the first 2 rounds, and then in the third, Ige actually ended up winning the round. Like, he was starting to pour it on. He just got started a little too late.
Yeah. He needed some, like, adjustment time because he didn't train for this dude at all. I guess,
in
all fairness, the other guy didn't train for him.
The thing is he had a fight camp coming up. Or he was already in fight camp because he had a fight coming up in July.
Is he
so
still
later this month?
Now he doesn't get to do that one?
I don't think he's going to fight that one anymore. But
damn.
Maybe he will. He was talking after the fight how he wants to fight at the Sphere.
Dude.
The card at the Sphere.
Everybody wants to.
I want to see that.
I think it's gonna be a badass card.
Yeah, I bet just getting in is $1,000 to start. I bet it's so insane. Yeah. Well, it's not the biggest venue in the world though. I bet that's smaller than most of their shows.
I'm sure. I think it's more of just like the visual experience being there live, you know.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
On the outside, Bruce, like they have Bruce's face as he's doing his intro. I love Bruce.
They actually just put out a trailer. I'm gonna have to show you after this. It looks badass.
Hell yeah.
For the Sphere?
Yeah. For the Sphere.
So, the most important one, the only fight that I knew anything about, the main event, how'd that go?
Alex Pereira put on a show.
Does he have GOAT potential?
Yes.
I was just about to say he's solidified himself in GOAT talks.
Did you see the
already?
Did you see the graphic with Khabib and him?
No.
Because people are like, oh, Khabib this GOAT, and then the Pereira, oh, they're giving it to him too quick. They have like the same career stats.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I think Pereira is better.
A boring Russian terrorist.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, he made this fight look 100,000 times easier than the last fight.
And this is his normal weight class now, right? Yeah. When he was fighting Izzy,
when he was fighting at middleweight, he had to cut so much weight.
Yeah.
And
that kick,
dude,
it was perfect.
It was the most beautiful head kick knockout I've seen in recent memory.
It looks like it's out of like a Karate Kid movie.
Yeah.
Like it was like just scripted and it's fake.
It was insane. I was fucking shell shocked.
It looked kind of like the Gaethje kick.
Kind of, yeah. It just set it up, no telegraph or anything like that. He just.
And even in the first round, the hook that he hit
at the end, yeah.
But yeah,
does that guy have a glass jaw, or is
Yuri? No.
Alex is just like that.
Alex just has some crazy superhuman power.
Yuri's a demon.
But yeah,
is he close enough to John Jones's weight where that fight could potentially happen?
He's in John Jones' old weight class.
They're talking about it.
Yeah. John Jones said he wants it because he wants to give Pereira like the chance.
Please.
So with this fight, how it ended, there's really no good contenders for Alex in the light heavyweight division anymore.
Can he go up, you think?
He could easily go up if he wants to. He weighed in the day of the fight at 230 pounds.
Oh my god.
The light heavyweight division limit is 205 pounds.
So yeah,
anything over 205, you're considered heavyweight.
He's just as big as them.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to be interesting to see.
So will he go up to Jones then, or will Jones come down?
He'd probably go up.
He would go up to Jones.
You're not making Jones.
I think that makes it more likely. Yeah.
You're not making Jones move.
I think that makes it a lot more likely. Dude, that needs to happen. Super card. Connor Chandler
at the Sphere.
Jones.
Oh my god. Dude, the amount of money they would make.
They're not going to do it.
They won't.
They need a bigger venue.
They can't. But like, imagine the money they'd make.
They'll do that.
My guess would be sometime next year, maybe even 2 years from now. We'll see.
But Jones is just getting older, man. It needs to happen.
Well, so is Alex Pereira. I think they're around the same age.
They're like a year or two apart.
Alex Pereira, I think, is like 36 or 37.
Dude, I need this fight.
But yes,
You're begging for it now,
dude.
Huh?
Makes me want to play UFC just to make that fight happen.
Yeah,
that's good.
I don't care what happens in that fight. Pereira is not on John Jones' level. Don't care.
I think John Jones would use his wrestling against him.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he'd just kill Pereira on the ground.
Yeah, but you never know.
But if he can stay off the ground,
but it's kind of hard. It's John Jones.
I know, man.
But Alex Pereira just has that superhuman power. If he touches you, make a mistake.
Now
it could be lights out.
I think if Pereira wins, I think he is casting spells on his opponents.
I would probably believe that.
I would
probably believe that. But yeah,
God,
Alex Pereira, 9 fights in the UFC. He's done so much already.
He has one blemish.
One blemish was against Izzy.
Do you think that he had a bad fight, or Izzy is just that good?
I think Izzy is just that good.
So if Izzy's just that good, why isn't Izzy in GOAT talks? Or Izzy?
Oh, he's been in GOAT talks. Yeah,
I think also.
I personally think he's the greatest middleweight in history.
Who else is in that contention? In middleweight.
Like
all time. Like anybody that would be
Anderson Silva.
Oh, it's like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's people of the past. Nobody in the middleweight division right now is in GOAT talks.
The other thing with Pereira's only loss though is he was kind of beating Izzy's ass, and Izzy kind of got him with that hook.
Yeah.
Well, he literally baited him.
Yeah, he baited him, but he was losing that fight. He
set the hook.
He was losing the fight until Izzy got him.
I think Alex got too excited in that moment.
I did.
Dude.
No, not you. Him.
Oh.
I can't say his last name, so I'm just not.
That's valid.
I think he got too excited and overplayed his hand.
Saw that he can get him knock him out again.
Yeah, and then Izzy was like,
well, right. if you compare from the first fight to the second fight, when he hurt him in the first round in the first fight, it is picture perfect the same.
When Izzy hurt him?
When Izzy hurt him in the first fight and then ended up getting finished later on in the fight.
The same thing.
The time he hurt him in the first round is picture perfect the same. Because remember...
So he just got him a little bit better the second time?
The first time he ran out of time, he couldn't finish him. It was at the end of the round.
Oh, I remember this now.
And then now in this fight, he had time.
He got him with one punch.
Yeah.
That was one of the best knockouts I've ever seen.
Yeah. That was... I loved that knockout.
We were all in my living room, huh?
It was your living room, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
If you want to pull up to his living room, the address is... All right, we've talked a lot about UFC. I need that fight to happen. Alex, thank you for joining us.
Dana, if you somehow see this, please make it happen.
Please.
All the UFC fans want this now.
All of them, dude. That would be great.
And you'd make so much money, Dana.
Yeah. That would be so awesome. All right. We're going to do something that I swore we'd never do. But I've gotten a couple requests for it, so...
From who?
The guy that comments about the Vikings all the time.
Oh. Is he a basketball watcher, or is he just kind of...
No, he doesn't like basketball. Okay. But he keeps saying, like, dude, you have to expand to baseball, man.
He doesn't like basketball, but I'm pretty sure he put in the comments, he was talking about the Jordan-LeBron debate.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to, bro.
Yeah, he just grew up in that era.
Is he older than you?
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Ethan's dad.
I thought it was your cousin.
No, that's Adam.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then never mind. I thought you were a younger kid.
Here we go. We're going to talk about baseball.
Boo.
Try not to fall asleep. You feel me? All right. So just kind of a recap of what's going on in baseball. I do not know the sport, so I'm just reading headlines. That's all I got. And if this guy wants to chirp in, if he's been paying attention, he's more than welcome to. Alrighty. So, Shohei Ohtani potentially may end up as the GOAT in baseball as far as just the wide range of the things he can do. He currently leads the NL with 27 home runs, and he sparked a late comeback against the Diamondbacks when he hit a 2-run homer. Mets go on a 7-game win streak, longest since 2022. They sweep the Padres for the first time in 18 years. You got to stop doing that, bro.
Oh, can you hear it?
Yeah, you got to stop playing. All right. Mitch Keller records 5 strikeouts in 5 innings in his outing against the Cardinals. June 29th, Aroldis Chapman became the all-time leader in strikeouts amongst left-handed relief pitchers. What a specific stat.
He just barely did that, but like he's so old.
So in order to qualify for this record that Chapman now holds, you have to be left-handed and you have to be a relief. So if you're a left-handed starter, it doesn't count. What if you're a right-handed reliever? Like, this is a very specific stat where it's like Cole Beasley is the all-time record holder for touchdowns scored out of the slot for a white guy. Yeah. It's like, how specific do we need to get? Anyway, all right. Aaron Judge named the AL Player of the Month for June after hitting a 409 with 11 home runs and 37 RBIs.
In June?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, damn. Aaron Judge is really good at baseball.
Yeah, I know he's good. That's a lot.
Bryce Harper named the NL Player of the Month for June. Listen to how much better Aaron is, compared to Harper, both Players of the Month. Listen to the difference in the stats here. Harper is named NL Player of the Month for June after smashing 7 home runs. Judge got 11 with a 374 batting average. Judge was at 409 and 16 RBIs. Judge was at 37.
Well, I think we know who your favorite player is.
Aaron Judge is really, really good. What are we doing?
I'm trying to get my charger to get plugged in.
The Guardians sit atop the American League while the Phillies sit atop the National League. And that was this week's MLB recap. The Diamondbacks have been severely disappointing. So, Sean, just like you and the Vikings both, can pick it up. Because after one World Series loss, you are now back to where you always belonged, which was towards the bottom. All right, we're going to move on to a sport that people care about. We're going to talk about Dallas's downfall. And y'all got to stick with me here. All right, bro. So, the Cowboys are in the news. And once again, the news is not a contract extension, but the news is about beef over a podcast. Malik Hooker joined Keyshawn Johnson's podcast to say, and I quote, "If we're at work and the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and you know the run game is terrible, then what are you really caring about?" Micah Parsons later tweeted and has since deleted the tweet saying, "Just wish you said this to me, but instead on some podcast. And you got my number, family, and you my locker mate. So you could have said this any day. And you do realize I shoot the podcast on our off day. Why aren't we talking about everyone's preparation and focus?" Well, Micah, the reason they're not is because not everybody does a podcast, and not everybody is the best player on the team. Not everybody is potentially not everybody has the potential to be one of the greatest defensive players ever like you do. So, the Cowboys have, for years, been a pretty well-run organization as far as drafting. They make smart free agency moves, except for the Zeke one, that was bad. But for the most part, they don't have bad contracts.
I mean, they drafted Dak. That was bad.
Okay. You just wait, all right? But at this point, the circus and the clown show outweighs the football. And for someone who's been a Cowboys fan since he was 5 years old, it's getting incredibly old. Micah is about to be an $100+ million man, and you can't focus on the sport that makes you that money. You're so focused on a podcast. And on that podcast, you're consistently talking about team-related issues, and you're talking crap about other teams, and it's not a recipe for success. And now we have teammates beefing about it. I don't have the ability to switch teams. I'm too known by everybody as the Cowboy guy, so I'm stuck.
If you're to switch teams, though,
it's getting really old.
What team would it be?
I was allowed to switch teams, I would probably be...
Got to think about the future, too.
Yeah. Obviously, fuck the NFC East entirely.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick a team that I'll be considered a bandwagon. So that's no Niners, no Chiefs. Fuck the Eagles. I already said that, but it needed to be said again. Fuck the Niners. Fuck the Packers. Bears. I'd probably be a Bears fan. Because then I can give Sean more shit because I'm in his division.
Okay.
I'd probably be a Bears fan.
Yeah, so you're bandwagoning on the youth movement.
Yeah.
Got it.
I like that. I'd probably be a Bears fan. But no, I'm a Cowboys fan. It's getting old, man. The inability to focus on football. And it starts from the top. Jerry Jones, he likes the circus. And that's the biggest problem. The culture has just deteriorated massively. And their inability to get these contracts done is absurd. Because eventually they're going to pay CD and Micah, and you're going to pay them more than you needed to. I understand the Dak situation to a certain extent, but the more it goes on, the more it's like, hey man, you wouldn't have had to pay him $60 million if you got this done a few years ago, so pony up the cash, because you have a top 10 quarterback who is still in his prime, and that's what you do, right? It's not entirely his fault what happened against Green Bay. The highlights are all out there of their tight end being on a different field than the rest of the team because he was so wide open. That's not Dak's fault. It's not Dak's fault that the year before you thought it was okay for Noah Brown to be your second best receiver. And it wasn't in 2021, the team was incredibly young. Micah was a rookie, Diggs was a second-year player. Like, the team wasn't ready yet. But then in that offseason, you get rid of Amari Cooper, which was, again, not Dak's fault, which led into Noah Brown being the second-best receiver, not Dak's fault. Not Dak's fault that Tyron Smith can't stay healthy. It's not Dak's fault that Travis Frederick ended up retiring. None of this is Dak's fault. And it's not Dak's fault that you think it's okay to not spend any money during the offseason. You are the highest valued franchise in the world. Not in football, not in the United States. In the world, you're the most valuable, and you spent the least amount of money in the league this offseason. It's honestly it's an embarrassment for Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the whole Bronny James thing and the... God, I can't think of the word, but when you get perks because of who your parents are, the entire Cowboys organization is run by Joneses. Now his children are seeping through the halls, spreading their nonsense. And if it wasn't for Jerry Jones, they wouldn't have had 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. They probably would have had 4 or 5 because a different owner would have put his ego aside to keep Jimmy Johnson to continue to win Super Bowls. Which, thank you, Vikings, for doing that trade with us so that we could win those. That was really cool of you. But it's awful. I hope he stops doing the podcast. I hope they start focusing on football. And eventually they're all going to get paid and they're going to get more money than Dallas needed to give up. But that's the world they live in now. And if Dak doesn't get paid, then I hope he goes to... because it'll hurt the most.
Don't you say it.
I hope he goes to the Giants with Bill Belichick because then the Giants can kick our ass twice a year. That'll be really cool. Jerry deserves it.
Did you spit on it?
On what?
Dak?
I did spit on it.
Yeah. Just making sure.
When you have a top...
Making sure you gave him the extras.
When you have a top 10 quarterback, you should be spitting on it. You wouldn't know much about that.
Yeah, that Dak does no wrong.
Dak does do wrong. Dak needs to play better, absolutely. But it's not entirely
I didn't
his
like
fault.
the Noah Brown thing. Who did Mahomes just have?
He's not Mahomes.
I know, but I'm
Nobody
saying,
is
but
Mahomes.
he could be the second best quarterback in the league.
Right. The gap between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, like 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here, and
Yeah, but
1 is all the way up here.
that difference is the difference between the run game for both teams.
No, Pacheco's really good.
Not the running back, just the game in general.
Their run game hasn't been awful.
Yeah, but it wasn't that Cowboys run game.
Well,
But I would just
last year
think
our
if
run
you,
game
I would
was
just
not very
think if
good.
you gave him the extras.
Last year
was taken care of.
Last year, our running game wasn't very good.
No, I'm talking about last year. The Noah Brown.
I have a sunburn. Noah Brown's awful.
I know. I'm saying that year. But yeah, the whole Micah thing. I've seen people question Micah's character in general this offseason.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess he's never even had a conversation with some of the staff.
Fuck some of the staff with Mike Zimmer, his coordinator.
Oh yeah, it's Micah's. I think Micah has a really bad ego.
Probably. He's a very young person with access to millions of dollars, and sometimes that happens, man.
Yeah. It won't take away from his on-field play, though.
Right. And he keeps tweeting about, like, y'all can keep doubting me, I'm just going to come out and prove you wrong or something. It's like, dude.
Who's doubting?
Nobody's doubting that you're excellent. We're doubting the ability for the Cowboys to be an excellent team, and instead of focusing on that, you're focusing on a podcast. That's what we're doubting. And the whole thing is really, really bad. And the fact that Malik Hooker just went out and said it is pretty crazy.
It means it's probably been a thing in the locker room
right.
for a little bit.
Like, which shout out to Keyshawn Johnson, because the best podcast hosts are able to just make people very comfortable and just speak their mind freely.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like Malik kind of forgot he was on a pod. Like, he thought he was just talking to a
to
friend,
some homies and
you know? But for him to say it is crazy, but he's not wrong, is the thing. So, Dallas, you're on my I do not believe in you list, along with, like, the Clippers and teams of that ilk, and you should be embarrassed.
On the Ravens list?
Oh, yeah. I really am, like, I'm rooting for, yeah, I'm about to spit on it some more. I'm rooting for Dak to have, like, a 40-touchdown, 5,000-yard season, but Dallas is awful. Like, their defense falls apart. Like, nobody does anything except Dak.
So
and then
they blow it up?
So, no, and then Dak's like, hey, guys, see what just happened? Yeah, here's the bird. I'm going to New York. Fuck you. That's what I'm rooting for to happen. I'm done with this fucking team. And I'm not sorry for cussing. All right, we're going to move on to our last segment of the day. We're bringing back our Team Builder segment. This week, we are doing the northern teams, NFC and AFC North. Mostly because, again, I want to piss off Sean.
Which team are you?
Or
which side are you going to be?
I did both, so you tell me.
Alex, should I do AFC or NFC?
Let's do NFC.
All right, you wanted to piss off Sean.
Yeah, I'll do NFC.
You can do NFC North.
All right, do I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my NFC North team is going to start with the quarterback, Caleb Williams.
Not Sam Darnold?
No, Sam Darnold's awful. And J.J. McCarthy is going to be awful, too. They don't have
That's
good
so
quarterbacks.
messed up, bro.
Why is he the third string, then? Why is a top 10 pick third string? You explain that to me.
No, I don't care. I'm just saying that's messed up for you to say a guy that's never taken a snap is going to be awful.
Dude, when you're in college and your team's game plan is don't let him throw, I'm going to assume you can't throw, right?
I mean, it's valid.
Like,
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's messed up. That's it.
It's not messed up. The truth hurts sometimes. Facts don't care about your feelings. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. Wide receivers 1, 2, and 3. Justin Jefferson is 1, of course. Amon-Ra St. Brown and DJ Moore. I struggled between DJ Moore
Keenan?
and no, not Keenan.
Okay.
Addison. But I picked DJ.
I'd take DJ.
Tight end Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did the entire
Yeah.
O-line. The Lions, obviously. They have like the best line in the league.
Yeah.
D-line, I put Lions because Aiden Hutchinson is just so good. Linebacker, I put Vikings. Look at that. Secondary is Packers because Alexander is just so good. And head coach, I picked LaFleur.
Yeah.
I like this team.
Good
mix of young, but we got some vets as well.
I probably agree with the team.
Yep, I like it.
All right, my turn. I'll go QB Joe Burrow.
Not Lamar, 2-time MVP.
No, I'll take the guy that's better.
Right.
I'll take Joe Burrow.
Naturally.
Running back, I'll take Nick Chubb, the best pure running back in the league.
Yeah, I'd agree. I hope he comes back the same, man. That injury was so unfortunate.
Yeah. Wide receivers, I'll go Jamar Chase. Are we counting T. Higgins, right? He's second on the roster.
Yeah.
I'll take T. Higgins. The Ravens didn't sign anybody that I'm missing, right? It'd be Amari Cooper for 3.
Yeah, those are the 3 I had.
That's what I was. Okay. And then tight end, Mark Andrews. And then defensive line.
But O-line.
I didn't say O-line. Browns.
Browns, yeah.
D-line is... Are we putting TJ Watt on the D-line?
Yeah. And Highsmith.
Fuck you. God damn it.
I said Steelers.
I'll say Steelers because those two are counting on the O-line. I think Myles Garrett's the best defensive lineman in the league, but since there's those two, take them. Linebackers, I'm taking the Browns, and secondary, I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah.
And then for coach,
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I said Harbaugh.
Depends on my identity to be like. I'll take Harbaugh. He's won a Super Bowl.
So's Tomlin.
Yeah, I don't want.
I think Tomlin's won too.
I don't want Tomlin. He's just gonna win.
Oh, was your thought not between Harbaugh and Tomlin? You were thinking someone else?
No, I was thinking all of them. Not the Bengals, but I was thinking and then Stefanski. Stefanski. I was just thinking the identity of the team. I don't want Tomlin with those offensive weapons.
That's probably true. I did Ravens for linebackers, but I kind of just guessed on that one.
I like Joker. Koromora.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think he's... Oh, wait, they have Roquan Smith. I'll take Ravens.
Yeah, that was what decided it for me. Because the other ones, they all have solid linebacker cores, but the Ravens have the best linebacker. The best
guy, yeah. I'll take Ravens linebacker core.
I think my team wins this week. No, I think that's cap. I think you literally have the best division in football.
I have TJ Watt on my D-line.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, Devin beat me again.
I think my quarterback's better.
This is bullshit. He got the best. He got the Avengers last week, and then this week he gets the best division in football. That's not even fair.
I think it's just a skill.
Because your defense is so good.
I think it's just a skill issue.
Yeah, my defense is like mid.
Good, but like my defense is the best defense in the league.
Right. And your receivers are
not better.
Like tied.
Nah, you got JJ.
Your running back's better. Your quarterback is more proven. This is bullshit. All right.
Oh yeah, you took Caleb.
I did take Caleb.
Damn, you took Caleb?
I did.
I would have taken Jordan Love.
I think Jordan Love has had half of a good season.
Yeah, but that half of the good season was the second half plus the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I remember the playoffs.
I know you do, bud. Dak! Throws down the middle. What happens, Mason?
It was picked off.
Okay.
By the time we started making mistakes, we were down by 20.
He threw a pick the first...
And it made it to 27.
No, he threw a pick to...
That was pass interference, guys.
Jair Alexander?
That was
not pass interference.
That was.
He got his route jumped.
Alex, put up our blind reveal, buddy. Let's go.
Blind reveal?
Our secret segment that Devin had no idea about. Oh, fuck off. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't see it.
What the fuck?
Mason.
This is bullshit. Dang it, dude. Hold, please. All right. Woo. All right. Alex, blind reveal. Hit me. Devin had no idea we were doing this. All right. These are two different quarterbacks. This is their playoff careers. We have a record of 2-4, a record of 2-5, completion percentage 64.5 versus 57.5, total yards per game 303.6 versus 307.5, yards per pass 6.8 versus 7.1, touchdown to turnovers 9-9, 18-7, passer rating 75.7, 91.8.
Is this the only one we're doing?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the right one is Dak.
Correct.
So I'm going to go with the left one.
That makes no sense. I'm not saying who would you pick.
Yeah, I know. Wait, you say which one's better?
Yeah.
Not Dak.
But who do you think is on the left?
That's what I'm thinking about. 2 and 4?
So obviously been in the playoffs a decent amount.
That's not... No. You're giving me somebody that I... Who is that shit in the playoffs? Like, actually. First person.
And we would both agree the biggest gripe about Dak is his playoff performances.
Yeah, I think... First person that came to mind was Lamar. Is that Lamar?
It's Lamar.
It's Lamar.
So, with that being said, all of you Dak hating fuckboys can now shut the fuck up about his playoff performances because your 2-time MVP is a dog shitter in the playoffs. So, with that being said, put my face back on the camera. Thank you, brother. All of you can suck my left one because Lamar Jackson is not better than Dak Prescott because your only argument about Dak is he doesn't show up in the playoffs. I'll put that review back up there if you would like me to.
It's
I don't
not
think it's
my
necessary.
only argument, but it's
What else do you have?
Well, I think as far as those, the difference is the way the team is built and the way they run their offense, though.
But that's why I put total yards per game. I accounted for his rushing yards, and
No,
I did
not
total
that.
touchdowns.
Not that. I'm talking like the Ravens have been a run-heavy team with the running back as well.
So what happened this year when they were pass heavy, and the complaint was that they let him throw too much?
They weren't pass heavy, but
They let him throw too much.
I know Lamar sucks in the playoffs.
But
I know
the
this.
argument against Dak is his playoff performances.
I don't think it's playoff performance. I think it's his clutch performances.
Then what is that?
That's the playoffs in general. The whole game when they play the shit teams too.
Oh my god! Bro.
You're not getting me. I don't think Dak is like if they are close, they're not this far apart, Mason. They're not this far apart.
No, they're
from
not
each
that
other.
far apart. But Dak is better.
Okay.
He agreed. Thank you for tuning into this episode.
Didn't
No, you're not
agree.
allowed to say anything else. He agreed. You heard it. TikTok, you're gonna hear it too.
All right.
That was good aim. I hope you guys enjoyed. Dak Prescott is better than Lamar Jackson. We'll catch you next week for more transition takes.